Good evening. My name is Tim Reeves. I'm currently the acting captain with the Lower Makefield Township Police Department. I've been here for 26 years today. Today's my anniversary. To my left is Chief John Weiss of the Marsville Fire Department, Chief Glenn Chamberlain of the Yardley Makefield Fire Department, Chief Joe Kelly of the Lower Makefield Township Police Department, Director of Fire Services Tim Chamberlain, and the Chief of the Yardley Makefield Emergency Service Unit, Maria Ferrara. In attendance tonight, we have members from the board, consisting of Marilyn Herrett, say that right? Okay, and Jeffrey Gust, thank you for coming, and also Derek Fuller from the Lower Makefield Township Public Works. And I'm sorry, Kevin Trieber, he's here online as well with us. Sorry about that. Hey, Kevin. Thank you, everyone, for showing up today. And we also have in attendance, I believe, are going to try to join shortly is Dan Grenier from Lower Makefield Township Board of Supervisors. When we get started here tonight, we have a brief PowerPoint presentation. Next slide. Just go over a little recap of history of emergency management here in Pennsylvania. Emergency Management Services Code was enacted in 1978 and replaced the State Council of Civil Defense Act of 1951. The act consolidated existing state laws and updated the role of emergency management within the Commonwealth. Amendments to this act in 1988 and 1989 further focused the role of emergency management personnel, organizations, and responsibilities. The state law requires that every county and municipal government develop and maintain an emergency management program consistent with the state and federal emergency management program. History of a Lower Makefield Township emergency management. In March 1989, Lower Makefield, under Resolution 693, created the Emergency Management Committee, consisting of the following: Lower Makefield Emergency Management Agency Coordinator, which was and also a representative from Yardley Makefield Fire Company, a representative from Capitol View Fire Company, now Marsville Fire Company, a representative from Yardley Makefield Emergency Unit, Lower Makefield Chief of Police or their designee, and the Superintendent of Highways or their designee, a representative from Marsville Ambulance Squad, now Capitol Health, and then it was two residents from the township. July 1989, Lower Makefield, under Resolution 703, expanded the committee to having 4 residents from Lower Makefield Township. In March 1991, Lower Makefield, under Resolution 766, officially adopted their first emergency operations plan, which will be reviewed annually. August 1995, Lower Makefield, under Resolution 913, adopts an updated emergency operations plan. In February 1998, Lower Makefield, under Resolution 999, adopts updated emergency operations plan. And in March 2002, Resolution 2004 expanded the Emergency Management Committee resident count from 4 to 5. March 2003, Resolution 2028 adopts updated emergency operations plan and changes review cycle to every 2 years. 2005, Resolution 2075 adopts updated emergency operations plan, and again in 2011, 2013, and 2017. I'm going to hand it off to Chief Chamberlain to discuss Yardley Makefield Fire Company briefly.
Speaking on behalf of Yardley Makefield Fire Company, right now we have approximately 36 active members responding to 2 fire stations. We operate 2 engines, 1 rescue pumper, 1 ladder, 3 marine units, 1 high water vehicle, and 2 fire police units. Members are trained in various rescue degrees, such as vehicle, swift, high water, rope, and hazardous materials. Technical rescuers involving trench, high angle, building collapse, or confined space with the Bucks County Special Operations Team dispatch.
Chief, you want to talk about Marsville real quick?
Sure. I don't have a slide to cheat off of, so I'm gonna wing it here. John Weiss, Chief of the Morrisville Fire Company. We protect the whole borough of Morrisville and a portion of Lower Makefield off of Yardley Morrisville Road and River Road area. We have approximately 30 active firefighters responding out of one station. We utilize an engine, a rescue truck, a special service truck, and 2 Marine units. Similar to the capabilities of the Yardley Makefield Fire Company, we do get involved with the rope rescue and the hazardous material type stuff, with water. We run annually about 550 calls, and we work very closely with the Yardley Fire Company and have a good working relationship.
Ready? Dr. Bushel? Hello, my name is Maria Ferrer. I am currently the chief of Yardley Makefield Emergency Unit. Yardley Makefield Emergency Unit has been around since 1955, serving Lower Makefield Township, Yardley Borough, and the surrounding communities when we are involved in mutual aid. We have currently about 30 people in our personnel. That is a mix of volunteers and also paid personnel. We have paramedics, we have EMTs, we have volunteers who are becoming EMTs. We also have nurses that work with us. And we operate under a board of directors, a manager, and also a medical command physician who oversees all of our practice. We have 3 ALS units, and an ALS unit would be advanced life support, and that is with a paramedic on board or a nurse or a physician. We have BLS units, which are EMTs. We have 1 responder unit, which is usually a chief officer. Altogether, we have 4 ambulances and 1 truck, and the truck is the responder unit. We have highly trained staff, and they perform life-saving skills with advanced treatment, medications, technology, and we're always training all year long. We're committed to serving both of these, the township and the borough, and all of our surrounding area. We are highly dedicated and trained, and we look forward to working with the emergency management here in the township. That's it.
The Lower Makefield Township Police Department is equipped with 41 police officers, and we are an accredited police department. So what that means is we have to train, hire, and equip according to a set of very rigorous standards. Some of these standards involve training that surrounds emergency management. One of the most recent changes was an emphasis on emergency management training since my arrival in April. All supervisory and command police officers will be attending ICS 100, ICS 200, ICS 300, which is a 3-day in-person class, and ICS 700. Upon completion of those 4 prerequisite classes, police officers in command positions, and then when they are complete, senior police officers will attend TEACS, which is the Texas Engineering and Extension Service in College Station, Texas, which is one of the premier emergency management schools in the country. And that's a 28-hour class that uses computer simulations to give injects in escalating situations in order to practice these emergency management situations, which we just don't get enough practice in small to mid-range municipalities. We will also begin writing all of our special event orders for pre-planned events in NIMS and FEMA compliant emergency action plans and incident action plans. And the reason we do that is so that when a real unplanned event comes, that we are trained and versed in not only writing these plans, but operating according to them. And that gives us the best chances for federal reimbursement through FEMA and other sources. Our officers are also trained in a variety of specialties such as scuba, some in SWAT, and some in the county major incident response team. And that diversity of experience also allows us to be in the best situation to assist our other disciplines like fire and EMS when the time comes for emergency management and emergency response.
Moving forward, some of the things that we're planning on enhancing are again, as the Chief Kelly already touched on, is our emergency operations plan. We've already started rewriting it. We're almost actually completed. We're fine tuning it right now. My goal is to have that implemented and adopted by the Board of Supervisors by the fall. We also want to update our ESFs, our emergency support functions, which will go into detail how to handle specific incidents as they arise. These are the plans that deal with specific events such as flooding, cyber attacks, et cetera. Something else that we're working on is implementation and collaborating with our area partners to include Newtown Township, Newtown Borough, not their fire service, their police department, et cetera. Yardley Borough, Falls Township, and Marsville Borough. It's very important that we all come together and pool our resources when the time comes. Meetings already begun with these agencies, with Falls Township and Newtown. And we've also reached out with our partners with other department heads and also with the library. I think we're shooting for the fall. We're going to start conducting some emergency management training over there. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit, Tim?
So the Bucks County Library reached out to us a few months ago, inquiring about running some classes, evening, daytime, to expand the knowledge of the residents of what police, fire, and EMS do. So we sat down with them probably 2 months ago, and we're going to sit down with them at the end of July and go over and put a calendar together of doing some training, such as what we do in emergency management, some fire safety training, some EMS training, so the public can come out, can learn different things, even do maybe some car seat checks, because we have some car seat certification people in-house, do fire safety training, do some security and safety training with the police. So it's going to get the residents more involved with what we do as emergency personnel, but also get us known out there. You know, we're not just the people you see at emergencies. We are the people that you can come to day in and day out for any needs you might have. So.
Kelly, will you elaborate real quick on our social media, what we've done over the last 100 days since you've been here?
Sure. On April 1st, we launched social media in the form of Facebook to complement our previous footprint on X. And within the last 2 weeks, we've also launched on Instagram, and we are acquiring followers daily. So it's been a great way to connect with the community. And although it's a police account, emergency management is piggybacking on that account to get out messages. Just this week with the cooling center and the high heat notifications, we've pushed out a lot of information to the residents on where they can get help and how they can get help.
Anything else? Anyone from the audience here? Yes.
You can come up to that mic there and turn it on. Yeah. Yeah, come up, right? You can go both take, there's two of them. You can both take a seat up there. And just hit that button on the microphone, you'll see it turn green. Okay, good.
Oh, there it goes. To notify people that where these things can be held. Many people have cell phones. If they can't recharge their cell phone or sit in the car and while it recharges, they have no way of knowing what is going on, or even to be able to contact PICO to find out, or you or emergency management to find out what they should be doing or where they can get assistance. I grew up in the Midwest, and we had a very comprehensive system of alerting members of the communities. One of them, in case of severe weather, it was the sirens. And it had a certain wail that was just for weather related. Then there was another one for outages. And even though these were big cities that we lived, they call them cities, that we lived in, these things were very, very helpful to reach people who did not have a phone, who did not have their TV on or their radio on, and I think saved a lot of lives. And I work with people out in Minneapolis, or actually in western Hennepin County, and we always had a way to contact other people. Today, with everyone using a cell phone and they have no landlines, can't do it. Is there any thoughts about how to notify people in different areas that something is being done?
We are part of the button here. We are part of Bucks Ready. And we have pushed that out over the years to register for Bucks Ready, which is a way for the county to get in touch with the community in the event of an emergency. We've also, we're really trying to strengthen our social media footprint with Facebook, with Instagram, and with X. Just this week when that storm hit on Thursday, we were all hands on deck for that storm. And I mean, I was in and out all weekend as well, but we were blasting stuff out on Facebook at the direction of Chief Kelly, and working with the fire department, with EMS, with the road department. One of those things that we were pushing out was that we opened the cooling station up for cooling and charging at the Lower Makefield Township Community Center. That was open from 8 to 4 on Saturday. And I understand that that isn't going to reach everyone. Not everyone has Facebook or the social media account.
They don't have electricity. So how can they get to Facebook?
Right. So through their phones with Bucks Ready. And we're going to push that out again this week. Maybe we should probably start really hammering that over the next couple of weeks, like to get people to sign up. And that way they know ahead of time, hey, listen, maybe I should charge my phone. You know, the people should take precautions, have extra battery chargers if they could afford them. You know, it's a minor investment just to make sure that they have access to this information. So that's my advice on that, is to go out and really make sure they're in touch with us through Bucks Ready. So we'll post that again on social media this week, and maybe also on the township webpage there.
Because those avenues you spoke of were the avenues that were used in almost every municipality years ago, the siren and the horn. But while they were good at warning you of a catastrophe coming, they didn't really give you any type of instructions. So that's why they've been replaced with a lot of these new avenues and these new forms of communication that can give you specific instructions for a specific emergency. Even if we had the capability of sounding an alarm the other day, it wouldn't have provided much information.
We will be a little bit more aggressive with pushing that information out so people do sign up for Bucks Ready.
I think while it's still fresh in their minds, it would be a very good thing, because I don't know how much of the community was out, but I could not access my television provider. So I was relying on a radio that I had, which I had tuned into one of those crank up things. You see, I lived in the Midwest.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Oh, yeah.
So that brings up, I mean, this is my first event that was of significance since I took over as EMC. I learned a lot last Thursday night, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it was, that's for sure. But, you know, there's a lot of lessons learned for me. And, you know, with the Board of Supervisors supporting us the way they have been, I think we're heading in the right direction. A lot of lessons were learned.
I spent many a night downstairs in, during the hurricanes,
Mhm.
trying to call people, we all had power, trying to call people who we knew were on an emergency health thing. They had they were on oxygen. And one woman said to me, "My father built this house and it never flooded." Well, listen, lady, if it's going to flood, no one's going to be able to get in to get you. And we wound up sending some sort of car down to get her because she was on oxygen. And that goes out, they have a problem.
And to that end, we also established a Handle with Care program recently where you can pre-register any type of special needs person in the house, and we'll pass that along to our dispatch center. So in the event that police, fire, or EMS are sent to your house, they'll be aware of any special concerns in there. If there's someone who's oxygen dependent or someone who has mobility issues or any other type of special needs, we will register that in-house and then pass that along to the county so that we know what we're responding to.
Which school is designated as a main shelter? It used to be Charles Bain.
I think that would be dependent, right, Cap, on where the event is.
That's
going to be event, again,
event
yeah,
specific.
it's event specific, yeah. So that's going to change. Again, all of our emergency operation plan has been overhauled. Again, that's going to roll out in hopefully early fall, late summer. And then all the annexes and the event-specific manuals will come out after that. And it's going to take some time, but it's going to be a good package when we put it out.
There's also something that's more on the code side that I've been working on is like a new homeowner packet, because there's a lot of people that have moved into our township that are from different areas of the country or even, you know, the state that don't understand the Bucks Ready and stuff like that. And then we're also noticing that a lot of people are moving in without home inspections, and we're coming across a lot of people that don't have smoke detectors in their homes. So I'm getting calls probably once or twice a week about, hey, can you provide us smoke detectors? We have none. So I'm trying to work on a packet, and we'll all get together and put this kind of information in there that if your power goes out, here's a way you can call the township, or here's a notification of what you can do. So these people aren't relying on just on social media. At least they have a little packet they can refer to, being new. And then we can also push that packet out, and there's only a little pamphlet to current owners as well, because they might forget, they might not understand, you know, how to find out this information. But like I said, it's kind of more coming from the code side, but we can all wrap it into one, because there's a lot of people don't understand permit processes, what we do as emergency services, or even a township. So I think that would be a nice thing to inform people with.
I think it was last month, you had a representative from the fire department came to speak to the seniors at their monthly meeting. And he told us, and I remember we had your son about a year and a half ago. He came through our house and we couldn't reach him. He changed all our batteries for us. And that the fire department will do that if you ask them to. Unless you don't let them, but.
No, that's correct. But now a lot of that's done through the fire service director's department. Installs them, changes batteries, do whatever the homeowner might need.
I wanted to state something per what you guys were talking about as far as Maryland's concerned. I think as a committee, it'd be really helpful if we really push individual preparedness. There's a lot of people that just are not ready for the power to go out for one day, even after Hurricane Sandy or Superstorm Sandy, whatever we're calling it. People were not ready for that. People are still not ready for minor inconveniences, let alone major disasters. So I would love to see us be very proactive in the community to do more preparedness type events or information that we put out.
And I think that as we talked earlier with the library sessions and stuff like that, we can hit on them. We can even have like a community preparedness day where we can go over multiple entities, police, fire, EMS, of what you can prepare for, like you're saying. Even Public Works can kind of go over what their kind of plan is of opening up roads and stuff like that. So people are aware because like you said, Kev, people take things for granted. And when you lose power for even an hour, you're like, oh my goodness, you know, what am I going to do? Unfortunately, and I don't know how many people realize this, but the fire department had to evacuate the hotel Thursday night because they were without power for 6 hours and they had no lights, no fire alarm, no nothing. So we ended up evacuating the hotel that night. And they just didn't have a plan for that, which we're going to work on with them. But things like that, because they thought the power would come back on in 2 hours. Well, this wasn't going to be 2 hours. It ended up being 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, they got power back. So things like that. And I totally agree with you. I think it's something we have to work on, you know, getting the information out there with the residents.
Introduce ourselves. My name is Jeff Gust. I've been a member of the emergency management team here for about a little over 15 years. My background is 45 years as a emergency nurse in various types of roles: flight nurse, pre-hospital nurse, transport nurse, pre-hospital, done various different things. Also worked with emergency management from the hospital side. So those are the things that I bring here. And it's really been a privilege for me to be part of the committee and giving my view on and how it is a rounded program. My major focus has always been helping our residents be as self-sufficient as possible and prepared as possible. So, you know, we all know that in, you know, a major event that people need to care for themselves for until somebody can get to them or until the emergency is under control or till we have the right number of resources to get to them. So, you know, helping people help themselves is one of the things that is a real push for me.
Thanks for helping out here. Without the community, I mean, we're only as good as the community. We need everyone's input. If people watch this, hopefully on Facebook or YouTube, wherever it's posted, hopefully some more people come out and give us input. I know the chief and the director, and we've spoken about how often we should meet, and we're thinking about quarterly, every 90 days. I think by that point, we should have our emergency operations plan solidified. That'll put us real early fall, and it'll give you guys an opportunity to look it over as well and get your input and feedback. But I appreciate you guys.
Would it be helpful if you, when you have a simulation, to invite members of the public to watch how you operate on it or in it? Because the last time they had at one of the schools, and they used students for something, and people were not aware of this unless their child was involved in it.
Right, I was part of that. That was Easter weekend, probably 2016 at Charles Bame. It was an active shooter scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some things that we could push out, and there's some things we really don't want the public to know our operating procedures. Active shooter response might be one of those where we don't want too many people to know the way we handle things. But one of the things I spoke with the Bucks County Emergency Management Agency at about 4 o'clock today about was assisting us with some type of tabletop exercise, maybe with flooding or as Kevin brought up, individual preparedness. And, you know, it really shows your weaknesses and where you can improve. So that's something that, that's a great idea. And it's something I'll take into consideration, and maybe we could work on and have you guys be part of that process. And, you know, maybe something that could truly affect us here in the Lower Makefield community and opened a lot of eyes. But it's a good idea. Anybody else have anything? Derek, anything? That's all I have. Again, for those of you that are going to be watching this later on at home, if you need to get a hold of me, my name is Tim Reeves. I'm the acting captain. My email address is timr@lmt.org. Feel free to reach out to me. With any questions or concerns, I'd be more than happy to field them. Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.